Welcome back, students. The topic for today's discussion is flow of control. Here in this flow of control, we are going to check in only if statement and its types. So let us dive into the topic. So condition here, right? We have taken a sample code if statement, right? A simple if statement. This is what we are going to see in today's session. That is in the starting of the session. Here, x holds a value of 5. We are trying to check a condition if x less than 10. Here you can see in this decision symbol, x less than 10. You do have two cases. Either the condition might be true or the condition might be false. Here we are taking into consideration only the condition is true. This is one way if statement, right? We are taking only the condition is true. What I should do if the condition is true? Here 5 less than 10. You are going to print smaller. Again, I am checking the condition. 5 greater than 20. The condition is false. The statement inside if print bigger is not going to get printed. And the last statement, namely print finish, is going to get executed. So this is how the flow works. Taking the initial value 5, checking with the 10, condition true, it prints smaller. Again, taking the initial value 5, comparing it with 20, condition is false. It is not executing the print statement and then it prints finish. Let us run this particular code. This is where the code is. I have assigned the initial, what you have seen in the slide. I have typed it. So you are getting the answer as a smaller finish. This is what we have seen in slide number 2. If I want to get the output as bigger and not smaller, I have to change like this. If I change the code as x is equal to 50, if I run the same code, bigger finish will be there. So it is not executing the statement in line number 4. Why? Because the condition is false. Now let us move on to the next slide. See, in if statement, I am going to have a condition or a comparison. So what are the comparison operators? Let us recap once. The comparison operators are less than, equal to, greater than, equal to, not equal to. Equal to is used for assignment and double equal to is used for comparing two values. So any condition will yield a Boolean value. Boolean expressions using comparison operators evaluate either true or false, or it will give yes or no. Comparison operators look at the variables but do not change the variables. They look at the variables, they will yield a result, namely either true or false. Sometimes when we are drawing a flowchart and we are trying to demonstrate it, we will be using yes or no. Yes for true and no for false. So with this, we will move on to the comparison operators. Example. See here, we are taking the initial value of x as 5. You are comparing 5 with 5. Then x is compared with x less than 4 here. Then x is compared with x greater than or equal to 5. X less than 6. X less than or equal to 5. And x not equal to 6. When you check the values, when you substitute the value of x there in each and every statement, you can clearly note that all the time the statement seems to be true. 5 double equal to true equals 5. 5 greater than 4. So that is also true. 5 greater than or equal to 5. That is also true. 5 less than 6, that is also true. 5 less than or equal to 5, that is also true. 5 is not equal to 6, and that is also true. Here you are comparing one way and not the other way. The previous example itself is clear that you can able to compare only the true part. So let me go on to the example. This is in slide number 4. Yes, this is what we have seen. Now, when we run this particular code, all the output, all the print statement would have got executed. That is line number 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and 14. 3, 4, 6 print statements will be there. Equal to 5, greater than 4, greater than or equal to 5, less than 6, less than or equal to 5, not equal to 6. So as I said earlier, all the 6 statement has been executed. Again, let us move on to the next slide. One more example. Here we are trying to compare x double equal to 5. Immediately after x double equal to 5, you do have a statement called as before 5. This will get printed as shown here. Before 5 will be printed. X double, if x double equal to 5 now, these 3 set of statements in pink color will get printed. Namely, the output will be before 5, is 5, is still 5, third 5. These are the blocks inside the if. After the if statement is over, you do have 2 print statements. And these 2 print statements carry the words, namely, afterwards 5, before 6. Now you are comparing 5 with 6. Now you are comparing 5 with 6. If the condition is true, now the lines inside if would have got executed. 5 is not equal to 6. So it is not getting executed there. Before 6, the next line itself, it prints afterwards 6. Let us recheck this once by running the code. Yes, this is where the code is. See, line number 11, 12, 13 is not present because the condition is false in line number 10. Sir, I want to see the output of line number 11, 12, and 13. If you wish to see it, then you have to change the value of x as 6. If you run the code now, line number 5, 6, 7 will not appear. Why? Because there the condition is getting failed. 6 equal to 5, the condition is false. Line number 5, 6, 7. Again, I highlight these things. These 3 lines, you will not be getting the output. So after running this code, my output will be before 5, afterwards 5, before 6, is 6, is still 6, third 6, afterwards 6. This would be my output. Let me reconfirm it once again. Yes, this is what we have got as the output. So let us move on to the next topic, next slide, sorry. Next slide. This is one-way decision, and here we are trying to move to a little bit slighter away from the same if statement. You are trying to have nested if or nested decisions. That is condition. You are going to check one condition using a if statement. Immediately then you will be checking one more condition inside the condition, which is called as nested condition, or you can term it as condition within condition. Here, X is equal to 42. You are comparing 42 greater than 1, first of all. Whether the condition is true? Yes, the condition is true. It comes inside. Print more than 1. Yes, 42 is more than 1. This statement will get executed. I am checking one more condition inside there. That is 42 less than 100. Yes, the condition is true. So print less than 100. All done. So you are going to get the 3 output. Why? Because the condition is true both the times. In both the conditions, the condition is true. You do have two cases. What if the inner condition fails? What if the inner condition fails? Now let us check this one. Yes. Now let us run this code. You will be having all the 3 lines as I said. All right. Okay. If I want to have more than one and all done, more than one and all done, I am trying to change the X value as 142 in order to test. 142 is greater than 1, so it will print more than 1. Whereas 142 is less than 100, the condition is false. It will not print the line number 6. So you'll be having a 2-line output instead of a 3-line output. I hope this is clear. With respect to nested if. Nested if means condition within condition. Now we are moving to a two-way decision. So this is where we will be using it. We will not be using mostly one-way decision. See, at rare instances, we will be using one-way decision making. So we will be making two-way decision making. Anyhow, if I'm going to have a condition in if, it is going to yield a result, a Boolean value, namely true or false. What if I'm going to do when the condition is true? And what if I'm going to do when the condition is false? This is what we are going to see. Here I am taking the x value as 4. I am comparing 4 with the 2. I do have two choices. Either 4 should be greater than 2 or 4 should be less than 2. On decision making, if the condition is true now, I'm going to print as print bigger. The condition is false. I'm going to print not bigger. Once among the two statements, either bigger or not bigger, one of the statement will get executed, and then for sure you will be getting executed the last statement, namely all done. Sometimes we want to do one thing. If a logical expression is true and something else if the expression is false, this is what I have conveyed already. It is like a fork in the road. You must choose one or the other path, but not the both. You cannot take both. Either of the one, you have to choose it. So let us move on to the example. X value is 4. If I want to have the statement print bigger all done, I should be giving the x value something, what is that, greater than 2. Something greater than 2. If I want smaller and all done, I should be giving a value which is less than 2. Let us check this one. You are going to have the output as bigger and all done. Why? Because 4 is greater than 2. You are getting printed bigger, and the else statement will not get executed since it is false. So you will be having the print statement as all done. If I am going to give it as 2, let us check what happens. 2 greater than 2 condition is, eventually it is false. True greater than 2 condition is false. So you are getting the answer as smaller and all done. All right. Let us now coming to a multi-way. That is, you are going to have multiple conditions. It is otherwise called as branching statements, multiple branching statement. In some other languages, we call it as multiple branching statement. If one condition is fails, it will be, you will be checking the other condition. You will be checking the other condition. And at last, if none of the condition is getting suited, then an else part will get executed. We will check this one with an example. Here, I am having multiple conditions, that is multi-way. X less than 2 now, condition is true now, I am going to execute or I am going to print small. If I am giving 3, 3 is less than 2, condition false. It comes here, now you are checking one more condition. If this condition is true, you are going to print it as print medium. In other sense, if I'm trying to give the x value as 20, first condition fails, it comes here. Second condition, it tests, that also fails, it prints large. And then it gives me the answer as all done. Let me check this one once again with another example. So here, let us try to check all possible combinations, right? So let us try to check all possible combinations. Namely, if I give the value of x as 0, what kind of output I am having? My first if statement itself is true. So I'll be having the output as small all done. I hope this is clear. Now moving on to the, I am trying to assign x value as 5. The first statement is false. In elif condition, the second if elif, elif you are trying to check the value. 5 less than 10 condition is true. So you will be having the answer as medium all done. Now with respect to the value of 20, 20 less than 2 condition false. Elif 20 less than 10, that is also false. Now you are going to have the output as large, sorry, yes, large all done. Yes. So in a multi-way, this is what we have seen. This is without else, all right? So what will happen if I try to give the input as x is equal to 5? 5 less than 2. 5 less than 2 is the condition is false. Why? Because 5 is greater than 2. 5 is, again you are checking one more condition in the elif statement. 5 less than 10, yes, medium all done. If I want to have only all done statement, if I try to provide a value which is 10 or more, if I am trying to provide the value as 10 or more, I will be having the output as all done only. Why? Because 10 is less than 2, so small will not get print. Sorry, 10 is less than 2, condition is false. So print small statement will not get executed. 10 less than 10, condition is false. Why? Because 10 is equal to 10. So print medium will also not get executed. The only statement that will get executed for value of x is equal to 10, all done. So here you are having similar cases, right? If I want to have small I should enter a value less than 2. If I want to have the output as medium I should enter a value less than 10. If I want to have a value as big I should enter a value less than 20. Again for large less than 40. Again for huge less than 100 should be there. A value of x should be less than 100. It can be 99, it can be minus 99, it can be minus 100. Any number less than 100. So if I give 100, all the condition fails and you will be and the system will print none as the output. Now moving on to the last puzzle, right? Here I have taken two questions and I am trying to check for both the questions, one particular statement will not get executed. Among the three statements in the first case, here, if I give some x value now, one of the statement, one print statement, it will not print. One print statement, it will not print at all. One of the print statement will not print, right? So let me check this one. This one, if x less than 2, I have to give a value for x, then only this particular code will get executed. I am entering the x value as 5. Let me check this one. 2 or more. If I am trying to give the x value as minus 5, below 2. If I give the x value as 500, now you can see 2 or more. Here, the only statement which is not getting executed is print something else. Whenever I am giving a value which is 2 or more, whenever I am giving a value 2 or more, it is going to print only the print statement which is present in line number 6. And this particular line will not get printed at all. This is the line will not get printed. Now let us check the last puzzle. Here I have x less than 2 first condition, L if x less than 20 second condition, L if x less than 10 third condition, and I am having print something else. And I am having print something else. If I am going to give the x value as 10, let me check. Let me try to give the x value as 10 and let me check. 10 less than 2 condition false. 10 is less than 20, it prints 20, right? So it is not coming to line number 7, it is not checking the condition and all. Since the condition is true in line number 5 itself, line number 6 is getting executed. I am trying to give 101. 101 less than 2 condition false, 101 less than 20 condition false, 101 less than 10 condition false. So something else has been printed. So if I try to give minus 101, it is below 2. So we have checked for below 2, below 20, something else. So when I try to check for below 10, this would be the statement that would not have got executed. People will be asking, sir, 9 less than 2 condition is not true. So line number 4 is not getting executed. Whereas here, this statement itself is true. 9 less than 20. So it prints the sixth statement. The line which is present in sixth statement is getting printed, and it is not checking the seventh line. If you want to say it is below 10, if you want to say it is below 10, you have to change the code like this. X less than 10 I have to change, and then here I have to change X less than 20. This is below 10. Now I have given the condition properly. If I run now, it will show below 10. Whereas the puzzle which I have given us, I am asking you which will be the print statement that will not at all get executed. And hence, this would be the print statement will not get executed or printed. I hope this session is clear. You would have understand the problems related to if and the various types of if statement with examples. Thank you for the session.